Wednesday, the 24th of September, the Electoral Commission concluded a two-day nomination exercise for presidential aspirants, clearing 8 candidates for the race. On the 29th of September, the official campaign program started. Hardly a week into the exercise, set to last 3 months, some presidential candidates have indicated that they are financially constrained. One of them is Mubarak Munyagwa, the president of the Common Man's Party. This week, Munyagwa launched a fundraising drive to raise campaign cash.
Then there we are praying to God that this thing works. Failure to work, it will require us to hold for another 1 week and look for money.
He confirmed that the available cash could only sustain his team for 2 weeks, with 15 billion shillings required for his campaign. The National Peasants Party flag bearer, Robert Kasivante, who was expected in Chenjojo, Fort Portal, Bundubujo, Kabarole and Kasese districts this week, was unable to travel. He asked members of the public to donate towards his campaign.
We have issues in funding because we are National Peasant Party. National Peasant Party, we are just starting the journey. And I cannot assure Ugandans that we have all the money that is needed.
But isn't this a sign of unpreparedness and failure to appreciate the fact that huge amounts of money are required to sustain a presidential campaign?
The problem is with the government. The Electoral Commission did not create a very good environment for the other candidates who are contesting for presidential, for them to monitor the whole country. Because now when you look at the government, Museveni is moving the whole country using taxpayers' money. But for us who are coming in to contest, to fight with him, we just have to look for resources in those very peasants, the people who are crying.
The executive director of the Alliance for Campaign Finance Monitoring, Henry Muguzi, says this casts doubt on the seriousness and credibility of some presidential candidates.
Wasting national resources because you see the Electoral Commission had to spend taxpayers' money to make sure that they avail them with a vehicle, they avail them with the security detail. All these expenses that came from the national budget, I assumed that the men and women that would show up to contest would be those of a serious nature.
He scoffs at any attempts by some candidates to start fundraising just a week into the campaigns.
It is the height of unpreparedness. It is also the height of unseriousness. Because you see, a serious candidate, you cannot look for salt to put in the sauce after the sauce is ready.
The presidential flag bearer for the National Peasants Party, Robert Kasivante, has asked Parliament to amend the electoral laws to ensure that presidential candidates are facilitated by government to campaign as it was in the past. Before 2016, all nominated presidential candidates were given 20 million shillings to meet some campaign expenses.
Obviously, it's supposed to be revised. The problem, when they were setting up those policies, they did not consider. Because if the policies were arranged very well, they could know that we need like 5 contestants or 10. Then after, they have to get ways of giving them chance of also reaching to the peasant down there in the villages, but they don't give them chance because of the funds, because of the resources.
All those things, you would need money that is in excess of 20 billion. There is no way government of Uganda, with the limited resources we have, is going to find money, adequate money, that a candidate would need to contest for presidential elections. So it goes therefore that better be left to individual political parties to source for, and therefore so that the burden is lifted. Besides, many of these men and women who offer themselves to contest for elections are not good enough to even be president. So why would we taxpayers be spending our money, wasting our money on a bunch of individuals that have never been prepared to contest on such a position?
Some activists are now calling for strengthening of electoral laws, especially the Presidential Elections Act, to ensure that only prepared and competent individuals are nominated.
I think it's important that the 12th Parliament coming up should consider, among other things, amending the electoral laws, especially the Presidential Elections Act, to insert provisions that would make it difficult for comedians to be nominated, to contest as candidates for presidency.
I'm Benjamin Jumbe, NTV Weekend Edition.